and it's a trash can because baseball is trash. And then the data from it says this is also trash, right? But the pitch info of the banging is, I'm high right now. This is, we're gonna work this. What do bangs look like? Okay, that's trippy. Okay, that looks like a toilet bowl. I don't know the fuck. Okay, bangs look like that. So because the purple is just really cool. Because Dia, I didn't go to college. So they circle what the purple is. This is actually a weed strain. This is the purple haze the kids is talking about. And baseball is back. So baseball players are like, whoa, we get to smoke this strain of weed. That's cool. It calms down my steroid addiction. And that's really nice. But he pitches, no swing, miss, that's my love life right there. That's actually how I navigate love, actually. That's really sad. Okay. So the results of my love life is, 1.5 times I've had sex, okay? The velocity that I fuck is really quick, but my dick can only handle so much, so it's a short amount of time. So that's actually 4 minutes. I can fuck for 4 minutes and then eat ice cream. That is how I navigate it. That's actually my face after I have sex. That's my face. I'm very grateful. I'm a grateful person. That's my hair after sex. That's after I eat pussy, okay? That's my beard if I keep eating pussy. Okay, that's okay. Okay, this is too much for me. Okay, that's where I am. I feel like his LinkedIn is professional. This is really good. Dia, who are these white people you putting on the screen? And that's Gregory Matthews. Thank you so much.
And to actually present his research, make it loud for Dr. Gregory Matthews, everybody.
Talking about a generic white guy named Greg. He's an asshole because he's a Leo. I just had my 40th birthday, July 25th. And he's talking about white people like in baseball. And I'm giving a talk about baseball right now. Holy shit, I'm white. Okay, so This is like the least sciencey talk that anyone's ever given at Uncontrolled Variables, but there is statistics involved, and what's really great about statistics is that it's applicable everywhere, right? So let's have some fun tonight. Let's talk about some baseball, all right? So the name of this talk is Bang the Can Slowly. Anyone get that? Robert De Niro movie from the 70s? Yes. Think about it. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's actually the name of the article. We spent a lot of time thinking of a good name for the article. We're very proud of that. Okay, so what's actually happening here is that, does anyone remember, this is the Astros. Does anyone, yeah. Why are you booing the Astros though?
Cheaters!
Because they are cheaters, right? So the Astros in 2017, they won the World Series. And then several years after this happened, was it Mike Fiers who came out and was like, hey, they were cheating, right? And the way they were cheating is that they were stealing signs from a center field camera. They had a camera in center field. What does this have to do with the trash can? Hold on. So they had a camera in center field, and they were stealing the signs from the catcher. This would get relayed to the dugout, and they would use the sophisticated system of hitting a baseball bat on a trash can. If there was no noise, if there was no bang, it was a fastball, and a bang meant that it was an off-speed pitch, like a curveball or an off-speed pitch. All right, that was the system. Okay, so there's no doubt in our mind that they cheated, right? That's pretty much well established at this point. As a statistician, me and Ryan Elmore, who's the collaborator on this, what we wanted to do was not only say, we've established they cheated, right? Well, what statisticians want to do is quantify the effect that this may have had on the game, okay? What's really interesting about this project is that it's a full data science project, right? There's statistics, there's statistical methods at the end, But it's really a full data science project because where do we get data to do this, right? The methods are like relatively well established, but the actual getting the data to analyze this is not so easy. Whenever I think about doing a problem, I like to think about if I could have any data in the world, if I was God and I could get any data in the world, what would I need to answer this question? And then I try to get as close as possible to that data. So the StatCast data, this is data that exists and you can get, this is all publicly available. And this is information for every pitch in the major leagues. This is information like what type of pitch it was, if there was contact made, where the pitch was located, like X, Y, where it crosses the plate, and things like exit velocity. And from StatCast, we use the exit velocity. So when contact was made, we know how fast the ball was leaving the bat, okay? I also know some people in Chicago who work for Baseball Prospectus, and they have access to pitch info data. Pitch info data is like StatCast, but it's like mildly proprietary. So you have to like know someone to get this. So from this we got pitch type, fastball, off speed, curveball, slider, things like that. We also had where the ball crossed the plate. They also have a variable in there called strike probability. So we know how likely, when the ball came across the plate, how likely was it to be called a strike. And that's important to control for when you're building a model to try to isolate the effect of these bangs. Okay, so we had that. And then we thought, well, great, we have this information, but there's no way we can analyze this because there's no way we're going to be able to get information on which pitches had bangs associated with them, right? If you're going to design an experiment to estimate the size of this effect, what you would do is you would randomize, that's what statisticians do, you would randomize which pitches were going to have bangs and which weren't, and you would look to see the effect of the bang on the outcome of the at-bat, okay? So bangs, where are we going to get the bangs? So for a long time we were like, we'd love to do something with this, but we can't do it. You like bangs? Okay.
It's a great slide, right?
So bangs, where are we going to get bangs? So for a long time we were like, we talked about doing this and we were like, there's no way we're ever going to be able to do anything with this. And then there was this guy, Tony Adams, so the internet came to save us. There was this guy, Tony, so what do bangs look like? So there was this guy, Tony Adams, who is I don't actually know what his work, but like he's an Astros fan. And like as a hobby, this guy went out and wrote code to automate finding the bangs in the audio files. This is crazy, right? But this is, yeah, let's have a round of applause for this guy, Tony Adams. Yeah, round of applause. I'm gonna tweet that round of applause at him. He'll love it. So what he did was, and this is amazing. This is like why it's a true data science problem because this is not like a classic statistical method, but you need to be able to get this data. And he wrote Python code to go and automatically find where these bangs were occurring. So what you do is you find some audio and you say here's where some bangs are, and then you say this is what a bang looks like, and then you say look at all the other audio files and find out what looks like this. So it is pretty. Did you hear that? Statistics and data science is cool. So what's available is you can get on YouTube. You can get a lot of the Astros games. What you can do is you can pull spectrograms out of the games, and so these are spectrograms. And the first one has 2 bangs in it, and the bottom one here has 1 bang in it because they're in their sophisticated system. 2 bangs meant curveball, 1 bang meant off-speed pitch, 0 bangs was a fastball. And so I've circled them here. The 2 bangs are in the top one, and then you can see there's 1 bang and then 1 at the bottom. The sort of the whitish color, the really light, it's like a yellow or white. That's the ball hitting the catcher's mitt. So you can actually, oh, you're excited about that. Interesting. Okay, so and so he scraped all this data, and so we got this data, and so he had every pitch. If you're super into baseball analytics, you'll know that every pitch has a pitch ID on StatCast, right? You know, and so what you can do is you can link across these different data sets. So we linked the pitch info data to the StatCast data to the bangs data, and we created our data set to do the analysis. Once you have that data set, it's a relatively straightforward analysis if you have any background in statistics, right? And so this is us celebrating because we were like, we can finally do something. That's Matt Moore. I searched. I was in Washington this morning and I found a GIF of Matt Moore being excited because we got the bangs data. That's why he's excited. Okay, so these are the 3 things we looked at. So what we did is we first looked at given a pitch, we wanted to know what was the effect of a bang on whether a player swung at the ball or not. right? When there was a bang, was there any effect on whether they swung at the ball or not? We built a second model, conditional on a swing. So given that a swing occurred, were they missing or making contact, and what is the effect of the bang on that? Then, given that a swing and a contact was made, we wanted to know what was the effect of the exit velocity on that pitch, or how the bangs affected the exit velocity. Okay, so here's where I wave my hands and go mixed effects modeling. Okay, we can get into that if you want with some restricted maximum likelihood estimators. Anyone out there into that? Swear on, I know you love that. All right, so here's the result. So we built a model. We were trying to predict the probability of these different outcomes, either a swing, a contact. The first two were logistic regression models. They were mixed effects logistic regression models. And the last one is your old classic normal logistic regression models with mixed effects for things like the pitcher, or random effects for things like the pitcher and occasionally the batter. Some models the batter didn't matter, other models did. So these are the effects. So these are in terms of odds ratios because we don't use probabilities, right? Okay, so these are odds ratios. And so what you're looking at here is these are the effects of the bang. So given, the first one here is contact. So given there was a bang, everything else being held to constant, same type of pitch, same called strike probability, same pitcher, all that being held constant. If there was a bang on a play, the odds ratio increased by 80%. Now, I don't think you need to be a statistician, but that's an enormous effect. Okay? This is an absolutely enormous effect. They were swinging and missing way less often when they knew what the pitch type was. Because if you're a professional baseball player and you know what pitch is coming, you're good because you're in the major leagues, right? So you're going to be much better than if you don't know what's coming. How often were they swinging at pitches? When there was a bang, what that means it's an off-speed pitch, a curveball or an off-speed pitch. These are less often called for strike. A curveball usually dips below the strike zone, and so you should swing less often at pitches that are outside of the strike zone. If you don't know baseball, so they swung. The odds ratio of them swinging was about almost 28% lower. So this is actual evidence of on-field behavioral changes because of the bangs. Okay, and we also have exit velocity. We estimated the exit velocity. So given a swing and a contact, when there was a bang present, so they knew a pitch was coming, we estimated the exit velocity was an extra 2.386 miles per hour. How much is that? Let's put that in terms that you can understand, because that's so condescending, isn't it? I'm a doctor and you don't understand this, so I just speak down to you. Okay, what this means, so think about this. If there was a ball that had a launch angle of 30 degrees, which is a great launch angle, and it had an exit velocity of 100 miles an hour, that ball is going to travel about 385.3 feet. That's physics, okay? With the extra 2.386 miles per hour, that's going to travel 397.9 feet, which is an additional 12.6 feet. So 385 versus 397.9 feet. A straightaway, the distance to center field in Fenway Park is 389.75. That's the difference between a long fly ball and a home run. Holy shit, these people were cheaters. Now, such cheaters. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is that the contact model is really interesting because in the other models, the swing model and the exit velocity model, it seemed to affect the pitcher or the batters. There wasn't a random effect that we found significant for the batters, but there was a big difference in the swinging and the contacts. So who benefited the most? I've highlighted the 4 people who benefited from the most in terms of the contact model, or you can think of it one way as these are the 4 biggest cheaters, right? I mean, people may have been cheating more, but these benefited the most from the cheaters. And these people were George Springer. George Springer, his odds ratio, so the baseline odds ratio was the, I forget what it was, it's like 1.8 or whatever the middle of this interval is here, it's like 1.8. That's the baseline odds ratio. George Springer's odds ratio was like 3.8. He was like in the 2017, like he barely swung and missed at balls, right? It's well, he was cheating, right? So we have George Springer. We have I forgot this guy's name. I looked at this is Yuli Gurriel. Yeah, thank you. And I put that picture there because I thought that hair was awesome. And then this is I don't know his first name, Marisnik. And then this is that's Evan Gaddis with a sweet beard. All right. So the conclusion here is that we all knew the Astros were cheating, but did it affect on-field play? Holy shit, yes. Right. One thing we would have liked to have done is said the cheating helped them gain X number of wins. We still haven't been able to do that because it gets really complicated and we just haven't been able to really come up with a good way of doing that. I want to thank my collaborator, Ryan Elmore, who I just saw for the first time in 3 years. I was in Washington, D.C. At the joint statistical meetings. You can clap for it if you want. And that's a gift that I use, because I think that makes me look good. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, but not on Facebook, because I keep getting suspended for saying things. And I have a website, statsofthewild.com.